Hi, I'm Matt Gholson, and this is another Insane Budget Photography where we try to show you some of the cheapest gear that you can use to make quality videos and photos. So this is the GoPro 4 Session, or sometimes just the GoPro Hero Session. They come out with a GoPro 5 Session, which was quite a bit better, but cost quite a bit more. Now, you can get this on eBay for $50 now. And when I saw that cheap, I had to get it, but it really wasn't just that it was that cheap. It was also that I really needed this for to mount on my FPV quad for some footage while I'm flying FPV, because nothing really works quite like this. Okay, the size is just perfect to mount on a mini quad. So when these came out, I thought, oh, that's a really cool camera, and I looked at reviews and stuff, and I want to say when this came out, it was about $300. I think it was pretty close, maybe $300. And I looked at the video, and it didn't seem like it was that good. And the thing about the video for these, it's not phenomenal good. You probably would get better video from a more modern phone than you get from this. But there's some things about this camera that are really good. And I'll explain it by explaining why I really hated GoPro. I used to hate GoPro. The original GoPros, you know, they came in this waterproof case that was kind of clunky, had the big latch on top. The last GoPro I owned was a Hero 960, and I had it for about a week, and I was trying to get it out of the camera case. I was trying to get the camera out of the case. Anyway, I ended up popping the latch, and I was trying to, and the camera fell out, and you know, the lens stuck out on those things, and it hit the table, got a big old scratch on it, and I'd only had it for like a week. And you know, GoPro, if you ask them about maybe getting a camera repaired, you think a $400 camera could be repaired, a new lens could be put, you know, into it, but their answer was nope. But we'll give you 10% off a new one. And I'm like, well, I got 15% off this one when I bought it. GoPros, they never seem to really give you the video that you'd expect. You think, you watch these promos and you watch people's videos from a GoPro and you think, wow, that's amazing. And you put it on your head and you go for a bike ride and it's just like, oh, shaky, crazy footage. And, you know, to make good video with a GoPro, it's just like anything. You have to be able to make good video. And I wasn't. And the other thing is that the case and the button operation and everything was so clunky on those old GoPros that I had a really hard time using it and actually doing anything. Like if I was just gonna go make videos, it was fine. But if I was gonna go for a bike ride and make videos, I spent more time clunking around with the camera than I did actually riding. So this is different. This has, like, the first GoPro camera that I've used, I thought, wow, this actually works. Why is it so good? It's so simple, okay? You can use the app to set it up, and then you can also set it up with this tiny little LCD screen, which is quite a bit harder, but doable. And once it's set up and you've got the settings the way you want them, you've got it mounted to a chest harness, you've got it mounted to your helmet, you're just carrying it in your hand. However you decide to do it, there's one button. You press the button once, about a 1.5 seconds, 2 second delay, it turns itself on and it begins recording. Once you're done, press it again, it turns off. So that to me was like and it seems really simple, but that was a huge feature, to be able to turn the camera on and off and begin recording video. Most of the time, by the time I actually got the camera turned on, and by the time I actually clicked the button to start recording video, what I wanted to record was long gone. You know, I was spending so much time fussing with that I never actually bothered recording. So these are going to struggle in low light pretty bad. Let's just check that out. Low light performance. I'll dim down my light here. We'll turn that all the way down, and we can compare the DSLR that's recording, and then over here, which you can see, I have another one of these GoPro Heroes recording, and we'll just check out how it does in low light. Probably not going to do that good. It's waterproof. And it's incredibly tough. I'm so impressed by the toughness of these cameras. I literally crashed one of these things. It was on my FPV quad. It was flying around at about 100 feet off the ground. I accidentally turned off the motors and switched the quad off, and it crashed. It landed upside down, probably going 50 miles an hour when it finally hit the ground. And the camera was blown off of the drone. The drone was literally destroyed into pieces. And the camera actually looked fine, but it kept beeping over and over again. Beep, 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 beep. And I thought, well, it's broke, it's ruined. And I messed with it a little bit, and I got it to work again just by like pressing buttons and turning and discharging it, turning it back on. I made a video about that actually because I was really impressed. I thought, oh, you know, it just needed this like brain scrambled and it worked again. But it started messing up again. I was getting ready to throw it away, and I thought, I'll try one more thing. I don't know where I got this idea. I think I saw this on the internet or something once. I put it in the oven, and I was like, well, you know, I mean, I'm going to throw it away, so what's it hurt to put it in the oven? I put it in the oven. I don't know exactly how hot it was because the oven had been on, and I just put it in there, shut it, walked away. I went back about 2 minutes later, got out of the oven. The oven was probably around 200 degrees. It was really hot, and when I pulled it out, the camera was like, woo, it was like really hot. I could barely touch it. I was like doing hot potato with it.
Whoa, it's so hot.
Okay. I go to click the button to turn it on, and it came on. It started recording, which it hadn't been doing. And in about 5 seconds, it said overheat, shut itself off. So I sit on the table. About 5 minutes later, I come back to it, turned it on. It's worked fine. That was a while back. I've used it a few times since then, and it seems to continue to be working fine. So maybe the oven fixed it. We'll find out. But okay, so some of the features of this camera. Just going back over the specs, which specs are kind of important. They're not huge to me on a camera like this, but they're kind of important. It does 1080p at 60, which people might be ticked it's not 4K, but I mean, I don't even, I make fun of 4K. Like, I don't even have anything in my house that I can watch 4K. I don't have a 4K computer monitor. I don't have a 4K TV. I would use 4K just so that I could downsize and have higher quality 1080p if I had 4K. But even then, I don't even know if I'd mess with that just because the file sizes are so much bigger, and I don't want to just sit and wait for files to copy all the time. So 4K is who cares? To me, I wouldn't even use it if it had it. The big thing for me that it lacks, the biggest problem with the camera is it doesn't have any kind of built-in image stabilization. If you are putting this on a shaky mount, if it's on a shaky helmet, it's pretty hard to watch. I wish it had image stabilization. So the GoPro Hero 5 Session does have image stabilization, but that camera is about $150 still. It has 4K, quite a bit better sensor, probably quite a bit better in low light, but that camera is $150 refurbished or used, whereas this one is $50. So a $50 camera is something that I am not scared to mount on a quad. I could throw this across the room and probably be fine. The $50 camera is a $50 camera. I mean, I don't want to lose $50, but it's not the end of the world. I can't imagine buying a new Hero 7 and mounting it on a mini quad and flying around. My mini quads are likely to crash at any given time, and it's just too much money to risk to me for videos that I'm just doing for fun. So this is perfect for just for fun. I used it on a bike ride the other day, and I was really impressed with the footage. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. In high light, outdoors, these things, plenty of light, they look great. So, Hero 4 Session, the first GoPro camera I've actually liked. I'd love to have a newer one. I'd love to have a better one. And my next GoPro camera might be a Session 5, especially if I find one of them a little bit cheaper. But for now, I'm really happy with these. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like that like button.